Alright, so how's it going? And today we're looking at the best 1440p gaming PC that you can build right now on a budget, which sets around $700 to $800. Now, by the way, links will be down in the description if you want this PC to get it for yourself. And you're looking at actual benchmarks of the PC, but with a slower GPU. So yeah, this is what this GPU is capable of, but the GPU that you'll have will give you a better performance overall. So without wasting any more time, let's get it to the glorious benchmarks. So right now, first up, we're looking at Red Dead Redemption 2, and at 1440p in games ultra settings we were getting around 50 FPS on average, which is awesome. The game looked really good and it was very playable. We also tested a lot of games. We have Borderlands 3, and at 1440p high settings we were hovering around 50 to 60 FPS, so that shows you how capable this GPU is and how this PC is in general, and you'll not have a bottlenecking. We got God of War at 1440p ultra settings, FSR set to balanced, and we were getting around 45 to 55 frames per second, which is awesome, and the game looks really good. The water in general, you know, this is what really caught my eye, how beautiful it is. Next up, we have a very, weird game for me. We have Forza Horizon 5, and at 1440p ultra settings in-game benchmark we were getting around 50 FPS. I thought we could get more because a lot of benchmarks that I see in online for higher than that, we're looking at what, like 70 to 80 FPS. Next up, we got Dying Light, and I haven't played it that much, but at 1440p it was in-game's high settings, and I was getting 55 to 60 FPS too, and I actually killed myself there. Next up, we got Rainbow Six Siege, and at 1440p lowest settings we were getting around 200 FPS, and this is an FPS in kind of competitive game, you know. Far Cry 6, and at 1440p, I guess it was high settings, we were getting around 60 FPS or 70 FPS even, which was really surprising to me how Far Cry wasn't that really demanding. Now my favorite game of all time actually when it comes to graphics, which is Cyberpunk 2077, and at 1440p medium settings and ray tracing set to ultra, we were getting around 35 to 40 FPS. The in-game benchmark said it's around 40 FPS, somewhere in that territory, and I was very surprised by how beautiful this game really, it's very beautiful game actually, that's why it's so demanding. You know, the graphics in this game is, you know, incomparable in my opinion. And the last game what we have is the Spider-Man Marvels Remastered at 1440p high settings, we were getting 65 to 70 FPS. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get to the parts. And the CPU, we have the Ryzen 5 5600. I've talked a lot about this CPU. This is a 6-core 12-threaded CPU that goes for $140 right now. I recommend you give it a shot. I recommend you try it out, you know. The Ryzen platform is still okay since you can upgrade to the 5800 X3D, which actually, you know, competes with the 7700 and 13600K. And the board we're looking at the Gigabyte B550M-DS3H. This one goes for $102 and is brand new. It supports our board out of the box, our CPU out of the box, and you know, it will support the next gen 5800 X3D with no problem, and it's got 4 RAM slots in case you want to go with more memory. The RAM, we're looking at 32 gigabytes of silicon powered DDR4 3200 MHz RAM, because you know 32 gigs is the way to go right now. 16 gigs is getting a bit outdated now, and yeah, it goes for $60. You really wouldn't want to miss on that. For the SSD, we went with 1 terabyte of SSD that comes in SATA. It goes for $33. I really like that it's actually pretty cheap, and you're getting the fast boot up times and loading speeds. Now the GPU that I'm using right now is something equivalent to the RX 6600, but if you want the better 1440p experience, you gotta go with something like the RTX 3060 Ti or the RX 6700 XT. Both GPUs outperform the wind out of the, you know, RTX 2060 Super that I'm using in this PC that you saw the benchmarks of, as you can see right now. But yeah, I'd lean more towards the 3060 Ti because you got the ray tracing capabilities and pretty much around the same performance compared to the 6700 XT, so that's why I'd like it. And yeah, I'd leave that to you 100%, but any of the two options is more than enough and it's awesome. Now the case, you can go with anything that would get the job done and would set the budget at what you currently have. So yeah, I'd leave that to you, but I'll give you a link in the description if you want something compatible. And the power supply, we're looking at a 550 or 600 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, because yeah, this is kind of a demanding PC, but it will get the job done. And again, links will be down in the description. So yeah, that's been it. If you like the video, press the like button. If you want to see more of that kind, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.